It's time to finally sort some small and annoying issues with my BMW 1 Series. I picked this car up now about 5 months ago, back in January, with it looking a little bit like this. And now here I am in June, and it's a completely different car. You would never recognize it as the same car. But there are many things that are stopping this from being complete as such. Let me quickly list off all of them things. First of all being the headlights. Now, if you've seen the video where I actually installed these, you'll know that the halos didn't work in the end. Not only that, but I also want to change the headlight bulbs to some white ones because I don't like the look of yellow headlights. It's just, ugh. We also need to finish off last week's half job where I fit coilovers because the arch gap on the back right now is massive and on the front is tiny. I also want to polish up the rear lights because I think they'll look way better shiny instead of being matte. It'll just kind of tie in with the paint a little bit better. I also put the rear badge back on. I'll quickly show you me doing that. Now, the first thing I want to do is get my rear badge back on because I haven't had it on now for a good month or so. And you won't even know if I'm driving a BMW because there's no badge to say I am. That's ridiculous because you can tell by the car. So I'm going to do a proper bodge job at this. But the rear badge, on the back here, we've got the two grommets which obviously line up with the pins. I'm going to jam a load of Tiger Seal on the back of here and then just push it on. Hopefully this works. We'll see, but I mean, like I said, it's going to be a bodge job. There, rear badge back on, that's one job done. And last of all, I also need to polish out all of these paint marks on the rear bumper because when I got this one, it was slightly damaged. It's not a perfect bumper, but I got it for really cheap. I put it on the car and there's so many of these paint lines that we need to polish out. That's the job that I'm cracking on with first. So let's crack on with getting these out. Well, at least this left side anyway, because I think it's something that I'm just going to do progressively through the video as it's a bit of a time consuming job, you could say. And there we go, that is the rear left of the car now Tika and a ceramic kind of coating applied to it. It is very, very shiny, a near mirror finish. Look at that, you can literally see me recording in it, it's that good. It does look really good, but the one thing I don't like is it's a different shade of black to the rest of the car. Now I knew this when buying it, didn't think it was going to be too bad. I mean, if I do polish the whole car up, it shouldn't look awful. But we've got all of this to crack on with as well. I won't record any more of it because I don't think it's that interesting. You don't really want to see it. But I'll be cracking on with that in between doing some other bits. But I think now I want to change the headlight bulbs to some white ones. Like I said, they look so much better than yellow ones. The next day. Good afternoon. It's a brand new day. And finally, the new top mount for the rear suspension has arrived. Yay! But I'm not going to be cracking on the suspension just yet. That'll be in a few minutes time because first I want to crack on and change my headlight bulbs as right now they're yellow and horrible. Here's what they look like. As you can see, this is a before, a bit boring. They're not the brightest. That's full beam. They're not amazing. Let's get the white ones in. And I do not like how they look one bit. Luckily, bulbs are really simple and straightforward to change. And we've got 4, one for every single headlight, of course, and they're all going white, and it's gonna look so much nicer. So let's crack on with these. It's really straightforward. It's like a 5-minute job. I say that, but with my channel, nothing's a 5-minute job. Now the first thing we're going to want to do is unhook that clip there, and then there's another one, that little metal bit there, and the back of the light will come straight out, revealing where all the bulbs sit. There, that is the back of the light removed. Really, really easy. Now the bulbs are held in place with these little electrical connectors you can see here, and some pins. And there you go, once you undo, or once you put a little electrical connector off the top and pull the pin out, they come straight out, and we're going to be replacing that one with some brand new white ones. I've got that bulb right here from Halfords. It's a Halfords Advanced one. I don't need anything brighter than probably 100%. And as you can see, It's literally the exact same bulb, but white. To put the bulb back in, there's a little slot on the edge of the rim, and that lines up with a slot just beside the back of the light. And then it's putting that clip back over, and then plugging in the electrical connector, and it's all done. I then changed the other bulb, put the back on, and changed the other side as well. And there we go, that is all 4 bulbs changed over. Really straightforward job, nice and easy, good way to start today. Oh my god, I bought yellow bulbs. Oh my god, I wanted white bulbs, I bought yellow. I am such a sausage. Well, I've bought yellow bulbs. I thought I had bought white ones. Oh well. It's just annoying because they cost me 40 quid, but oh well, you live and you learn. I didn't even need to change them. Oh well. Now let's get down to the real stuff. That rear suspension. We've got the top mounts now. It's not actually that difficult of a job. I'm just a bit more worried about leaving the car up on the front wheels because they're not held by anything, so the car could roll. We'll chock them off though and hope and pray that doesn't happen. So let's get the car up in the air to start with, and then we'll go from there. There we go, the car is in the air. That was horrible, only because this is a rear-wheel drive car. So there's nothing really to stop the front wheels for one to roll, except blocks of wood and a brick on the brake. Now let's get these 2 rear wheels off and then we start working on the inside of the boot. There, both wheels are off, and now we can finally see what we're going to be working with. What's coming out is this spring here and this shock absorber, and we're going to be changing both of them obviously over to the stance ones, but to gain access to anything we've got to first strip the boot out. So we're going to take the parcel shelf off and move the back seats forward, giving us as much access basically as possible to the boot. So in 3, 2, 1, and there we go. The boot is now clear. The first thing we're going to do to gain access is take off this plastic trim here, and there are 2 clips. One's missing for me, and then there's another one there. And then if you take that clip off there and that one off there, there'll be 2 bolts to remove, and then that should pull up and out. We'll also take the boot floor out at the same time. So the 2 bolts up here are crossheads, also known as a Phillips, but with those removed and the clips removed, we should now be able to pull this forward and up. There we go. And we didn't snap anything. Perfect. That was nice and easy to remove. Next thing we're going to do is take off these side panels. I believe what you got to do is push this centre bit forward like that, and then they come right over. We don't need to remove those bolts because they're not holding on this side card here. Next, we want to remove this light. I use a trim removal tool and just pried it down. There's like a little clip on the front of it just there, and then we're going to remove this electrical connector out the back like so. Oh bloody hell, that's hot, be careful, that is hot. But no, we're going to remove that electrical connector and then that will come out as well. Next, I'm going to remove this little medical bit right here. It comes out and there's some emergency sort of stuff in there. And now I believe this whole side here should pop right out. Just be careful not to rip any of this. And this is up in here. There we go. He's coming. Just be careful with him because, like I said, you don't want to damage it. Make sure to take out your light covers as well. There we go. That is the side out. And now under this rubber cover here is where the top nut sits for your shock absorber. So next up, we're going to remove the nuts that sit on top of the shock absorber. On the bottom is a 16mm socket, and then on top we've got like a 6mm kind of like Allen key looking type bit that you've got to hold. So I've got my pass-through ratchet over here, and then a 6mm that's holding it on the top. I'm going to undo that. You're going to hold this one whilst you pull this one. There we go, both of these top nuts removed. They've got a slight bushing on them. I'm guessing that's just for dampening. All done. Now, moving on to the outside of the car. The first thing I'm gonna remove is, if you can just see under there, that bolt, or I think is some sort of nut or something, that is what's holding the shock absorber up. We're gonna remove that. I believe it's a 17mm socket, and then you've got to hold, I believe, with, it's the exact same concept as the inside. I think it's 17 and then something else. I'll let you know exactly what size once I've done it, but we're gonna remove that and that whole shock absorber should come out then. So it's the exact same as the top in a 6mm Allen key, and it is a 17mm socket, but bloody hell it's tight. But there we go. Just about coming undone. There we go, so the top and the bottom nut removed for this, if we compress it a little bit and then pull forward, it comes off just like that. There we go. That is one shock absorber removed. I really should be probably putting on new bushings, but I don't have any with me. But that is a very worn out shock absorber. There is no rebound to this whatsoever. It's a good job we're changing this. So then, brand new shock, old shock. We're gonna get rid of this cable, strap. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's pushing itself apart. That is gorgeous. Look at it go. And then we're gonna take off, I'm guessing these are plastic covers. Yep. And we've got some brand new nuts as well, which is excellent. I'm gonna take these off because we'll be needing them shortly. There we go, top, bottom. Let's test the old shock. Oh no, that shock is absolutely dead. Look at that. No rebound at all to this. Completely dead. I'm so glad we're changing these because look at the new ones. Ready? Oh yeah, this is gonna really improve the ride height and the ride in general. But I do wish we got some new bump stops, because they're just a little bit old. Definitely seen better days. And here is where my brand new top mounts come into this. They are gorgeous. Look at those. Absolutely beautiful. Let's take the old top mounts off. There is, that bolt just there, and then there's another one somewhere just there, that one as well. If we take those two off, the old top mount will come off and we can swap it over to the brand new ones. So these top mounts are held on by a 14E bolt, which this is the socket for it. If you don't have one of these, your local Whole Foods will have one. They are not your generic bolts, obviously it's a reverse Torx. So we'll slap that onto our wrench and we'll get these two off. That's those two removed. And that is the old top mount off. That thing is eaten up. We'll slot these new top mounts into place. Fantastic. There we go then, that is the brand new top mount installed. This one can go in the bin. Now, to drop this arm is one bolt. It's that 21mm one there. It's a nut and a bolt, so you gotta undo it with a ratchet, and at the same time you wanna be undoing it with a spanner on this other side, or holding it with a spanner, should I say. Just work against each other, and that bolt and nut will come right out. There we go, one bolt later removed, and now we should be able to get a crowbar in here. It doesn't even matter. This spring just wants to, oh my God. The spring just wants to push itself out. Excellent. All I need to do now is put pressure down on the bottom arm, pull it out of the seat from the bottom, and it drops straight out of the top. There we go, that is the old spring removed, which was starting to fall apart due to rust, but we've got some brand new ones to replace it now. Bloody thing got my arm as well. There we go, that is an old spring removed. That is easy. So, to accompany our brand new shock, we have got some adjustable top mount things that go on the spring, and then obviously the brand new spring. To set this up, all we're going to do is just put that piece in on top like that on the flat end of the spring, and that will sit on there. And then I believe this bit goes up into the car, so we're going to drop the arm, get that into position, get the bottom in, and then I think you got to jack it back up after that to get the bolt back in.
The next day.
Last night then, we managed to get all of this back together and even get the wheel back on, which is really, really good. It was very difficult to get the arm up because it just didn't want to line up straight with the joint that it was going into, but we managed to do it, got the wheel back on. But there was one last thing that was a little bit annoying and difficult, and that was the new shock absorbers have a weird like rectangular bit that sits on top. And I've had to go out and buy this tool off Amazon. It's very bodged, but as you can see, it's got the rectangular slot on top. That sits on top of there. This socket comes up, goes over the nut, and then you use a spanner to do the socket up on this bit. It's very bodged, but does that up. And with that now being tight, this whole side of the car is done. Let's come down here to get out of the wind. That means I can put back everything on the inside of the car on the right hand side of the boot and work on the left side. It's gonna tip it down with raining a little bit, so we're gonna have to work pretty fast. And there we go, that is this side all back together with the light in, the side piece in, this thing here which obviously covers the hook for the chair, we've got the cover for the lights. All we need to do now is focus on the other side and we can get everything back together in here. But we've got a long way left to go before we can even think about doing this just yet. And one last thing not to forget, this medical pack with, I don't even know what's in here to be honest, but we've got a medical pack that goes into there and clips in, I believe, like that. Yep, there we go. That is that whole side back together properly now. The rain's just come out to greet me, as you can see. It's all starting to fall here, but we're still going to crack on. We're taking the shock absorber out, as that is already loose on the top, so it's that one bolt on the bottom. We'll drag that one right out. That is the whole shock removed. This one's not as bad as the other side, but it's still pretty dead. There really ain't much to that. Yeah, good job of changing them, 100% good job of changing them. Now let's put in the brand new top mount. There we go, that's lined up, just needs to be bolted in. That is the new top mount installed. We've got to now drop off obviously this arm again, which is the one bolt underneath, and then we're going to change this spring right here over to the brand new one again. Bolt removed again, bolt removed, and let's see if this is going to want to go by itself again, or yeah, lovely. That was really easy. Now I need to just push this down. Oh, come on. There we go. Unseat the spring. Oh. Oh my god, that was very difficult to get that out on this spring. I think we've got a second snapped one, you know. Maybe we don't. Let's have a look. Oh, that is filthy as anything. No, we don't have another snapped spring, but that is that spring removed as well also. Let's get the new ones back in. So I struggled getting that arm back up again. Had to get my mate's dad to come and help me, but I didn't record it because I didn't think he wanted to be on camera. Well, that is a really tough job to do, but we've got the arm back on. The spring's in place, the shock absorber's nearly there. I've got to do the bottom bolt up, and then I'll put some pressure on here, make sure this is tight so the arm won't move. But we've got the top bolt for the shock absorber in. Like I said, we'll do the bottom one, then we'll check everything's tight and put it all back together. So that is every bolt done up tightly. Let's put the wheel back on, finish off the boot. So there we go, that is the rear suspension back together, the wheels are on, we've got the coilovers installed. We can now put the boot back together, and we can get the car back on the floor, and then that'll be the whole coilover kit installed. So let's get this done. There, that is the boot back together. Let's get the car on the floor. let me show you this. Oh, we need to lower that badly. We need to adjust the springs because right now, oh, you can't quite just about see it back there. They're miles out, but luckily I've got C-spanners. I can adjust it, get it back in the air and take the wheel off, but I can't really be bothered right now because I just put it all back together, but it literally is like a monster truck. But that is that done. Mostly, obviously we'll adjust it. Unfortunately, because of weather, we're gonna have to leave the video there. I mean, look at it right now. It's absolutely chucking it down. That's just the UK for you. It could be really lovely one day and horrible the next. It is annoying though because I also wanted to paint my last caliper. I wanted to try and polish up my rear lights to make them look shiny. I still needed to finish off the bumper. I also wanted to fix the washer bottle problem I've got with my car because I'm still not getting any fluid when I hold the stalk back. So there's still so much I need to do. It's just annoying that the weather's not on my side right now. Instead, we're gonna have Joe's F40 M135i on the channel. I've got a few ideas for that video. It's gonna be quite exciting, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled for that one. Also, as long as this company that I've been in contact with go through what they've been saying, I will be having, hopefully, a product to review soon, and possibly a sponsorship. But that didn't come from me. That's just in the air at the moment. But we'll see. Fingers crossed that everything goes to plan. But in the time that my car's not going to be on the channel, I'm also going to be getting a full suspension setup done for it and possibly a wheel alignment. I mean, the steering's not actually that far out. The tracking's pretty good. I'm just going to do it just to make sure. I want like a proper garage just to go over everything that I've done to the car and the suspension joints, just to be 100% safe that it is all okay. And then we'll be back on the car in a few weeks. I might try and finish off those last couple things, and then I'm gonna see if I can take the car on track. That is my plan for the next few weeks. Make sure to keep your eyes peeled. I'll catch you next week on Sunday. Have a fantastic week, guys. I'll see you then. Peace out.